What up? What up? This is Tony Also Knows Boxing. That's the name of my show. You can subscribe to my channel if you want to. Definitely, I'm going to give you the real content. I'm going to do my research. I'm going to give you content that a lot of boxing content creators don't give you. They don't do their research. They don't give you they give you just information that somebody else said and they just copy and paste it. But I support all the content creators, but I just want to hold everybody accountable because I feel like if we have constructive criticism with each other, we can grow and we can build a strong community of real boxing content creators that really care about the real information, not the mainstream information that's only like it's just watered down. They don't give you the exact information that you need. So yeah, I just want to make a reference to I don't want to say the person's name, but long story short, the person wanted me to make a video to apologize to that content creator, but I don't apologize for being real. I only said the facts and the truth. And if you have information that this so-called boxing content creator claimed to be, he said that it was that he already knew what I was saying that was true. But why, if he knew what I was saying was true, would he copy and paste what somebody says and call it as true by repeating what he said? If you know it's not true, then don't repeat what the boxing trainer said. If a boxing trainer says something and he says of something that's false that you know is not true, then you shouldn't copy and paste that information if you know that that information is not true. So basically, you want to go to that video, you can check it out. There's no hate in me. I have no hate for nobody. I just give you constructive criticism and I keep it honest and real. And that's what I'm doing. So if you want to check out that video, you can check out what happened and what transpired. But I'm not here to like clout chase. I'm just saying the facts. I'm just trying to tell people the truth. And some people claim to be real, but they're really not real because they don't like constructive criticism. So if you know the facts, don't repeat and copy and paste what somebody says if you know that what they were saying was not true. So that's it. That's all I want to say. So yeah, Tony Also knows boxing. As you see in the heading, I'm talking about Mexican boxing promotion versus Puerto Rican boxing promotion. As you can see, Mexican boxing promotion is way more successful than Puerto Rican boxing promotion. Unfortunately, for some reason, when a boxer like Miguel Cotto or Felix Trinidad, they retire, Trinidad never decided to be a boxing promoter. Everybody just, chooses what they want to do. There's no force. But if you love boxing that much and, you should, continue giving back to boxing if that's what you love. But if you feel like you want to spend more time with your family because boxing took away a lot of time from your family, that's okay. But I'm just saying, Miguel Cotto, he started Miguel Cotto Promotions, and he had a great boxer years ago that I felt like he was promoting him good, and this is like around 2014, 2015, around the 2013. He had a boxer by the name of Juan El Puma Gonzalez. That guy was like similar to Felix Tito Trinidad. He reminded me a lot about him. He had that passion. In his interviews, he was so honest, and the way he fight, all his fights were all like majority of his wins were knockouts. If you look at this guy, Juan El Puma Gonzalez was no joke. He had the talent, the power, the ability. He had the technique, but he had a very, very similar style to Felix Tito Trinidad. Juan El Puma Gonzalez. He was signed by Miguel Cotto Promotions. Yes, he was doing really good promoting him. He was he got shot. He died at the age of 22. He got shot at the age of 22. He was riding his motorcycle in his caserío en Puerto Rico. Este boxeador era un prospecto bien talentoso que tenía mucha promesa y Miguel Cotto lo estaba promoviendo y lamentablemente le dispararon en el caserío cuando estaba manejando la motora. Le dispararon y una bala fue en la cabeza de él. A bullet went to his head. So no pudo lograr la promoción que ¿cómo se dice? Una promoción que, que tenía éxito, que podía lograr ser campeón. La cosa que estoy hablando ahora en este video es que el boxeo mexicano tiene más promoción que el boxeo puertorriqueño y es por muchos factores. So I'm basically saying that Mexicans promote their fighters better than Puerto Ricans. For some reason, Miguel Cotto's promotion has been stagnant. He has a lot of talented fighters, He has a lot of Chin Chin Valentin. He's Edwin Chin Valentin is a great prospect from Puerto Rico, but Miguel Cotto has not, promoted him. I think he's 13-0 with 11 knockouts, something like that. Or 14-0 with 12 knockouts. I don't know exactly his record, but Edwin Chin Valentin I think is the best boxer that in Cotto's stable. But Cotto hasn't been focusing on promoting his talent, and you don't see any of his fighters become successful, and that's the issue. Yo veo que los boxeadores de Miguel Cotto, él no le da promoción a los boxeadores que él debe darle promoción, como Edwin Chin Valentin. Es el mejor prospecto que él tiene en su compañía, pero no le da promoción. Y los mexicanos le dan mejor promoción que los puertorriqueños en el boxeo, y es lamentable porque tenemos mucho talento en Puerto Rico. So I'm just basically saying that the boxing promoters from Mexico or a Mexican American, they tend to promote their boxers a lot better than Puerto Rican promoters. I'm not gonna, undermine what Puerto Rican promoters have done. Miguel tried in the beginning with Juan El Puma Gonzalez, but he has not been successful in promoting anybody of note, somebody that we can respect. All the fighters that he's promoted, they come up, Zorilla, they come up in the rankings, but he hasn't given them like the major production. He did like a co-promotion with Golden Boy. That, Golden Boy promotes his fighters, and all his fighters become successful. Look at Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez, like, he put him in with Mayweather, but he gave him the exposure, and Canelo Alvarez became one of the best Mexican fighters of this time. I don't compare him to Chavez. I think Chavez is better, but because that's not fair to compare now and before, because before they didn't have the streams, like the computer, like, the things going viral, the way they promote. Now the promotion is totally faster now. They can promote you faster and make you more successful faster because everything is based on streaming. And before, they didn't have that streaming platform like now. So Chavez was not promoted like that, and he was still very successful without. He was promoted on the Mike Tyson's fights. He was on the undercard of Mike Tyson's fight. So Miguel Cotto, like, the fighters that he's promoted, they have not been successful like that. They have not been successful like that. And I feel like it's a shame that Puerto Rican boxing, they don't focus on building the talent of Puerto Rico, the boxers there. There's many talented boxers there. But the most successful company right now, I would say, is Fresh Production that Matias is under, Subriel Matias. But Subriel Matias is, it took a long time for him to get to where he's at now. So this boxer, Subriel Matias, the promotion, Fresh Production, his name is Urango. His manager has been successful with Subriel Matias and Emmanuel Rodriguez. But the problem is, he's only been successful with these two fighters, but it's still an accomplishment. But it's not like he's been involved in boxing that long. His career is his promotion manager career is based on music, like reggaeton. Like, he's worked with artists like Wisin and Yandel. He's promoted he's worked a lot in the music industry, kind of like Al Heyman. That's how Al Heyman did. He was known for working behind the scenes in the music industry, and then he got into boxing. So you could kind of say that Urango is the Puerto Rican version of Al Heyman. The only thing is that, we get to see Urango in interviews. We don't see Al Heyman in interviews. He's like a mystery man. Like, he operates like, I don't want to say, he operates like the people in the hats. I don't want to say they. I don't want to mention anything too real because I don't want to get banned. But he operates like the elite people behind the scenes, and you don't see them, but they pull all the strings behind the scenes. So anyway, he operates like the Jewish people. They successful, but behind the scenes you don't see them. I gotta keep it real. So basically, I feel like Munguia, his fight with Canelo Alvarez. I know that De La Hoya and Canelo, they don't get along, but and then it kind of gives promotion to the fight. But at the same time, it's like Canelo's getting revenge with whatever, like Canelo's animosity was built towards De La Hoya, whatever the personal reasons are. Canelo is like really frustrated that Oscar De La Hoya is behind the promotion and he's present. And Canelo doesn't like to see De La Hoya, but De La Hoya is successful and he uses whatever he can, like his promotion. He knows how to promote his fighters and get them to where they're going to become a selling ticket, and they're going to become successful. He promotes it and markets them really good. He does a great job promoting his Mexican fighters. Like he got all these fighters, Zepeda, like Zepeda, the one that fought recently and called out Shakur Stevenson. I know that De La Hoya is great at promoting, but that Zepeda don't have a chance against Shakur Stevenson. He's too slow. Like he's good. Cepeda's good, but he's not fast enough. That's my opinion, but I think he's really good. And I think De La Hoya, he promotes all the boxers. Like Munguia, he got him a title fight against Canelo, but I feel like he don't really deserve it as much as Benavidez. And Canelo is he's being a businessman. He's asking for $200 million or $150 million to fight Benavidez. But I feel like that's a marketing genius, because Mayweather has done stuff like that in the past. But I feel at the same time, Canelo's doing that because he knows he can't really beat Benavidez. So he feels like he wants to get compensated for it. He says Benavidez doesn't have nothing to offer me. Benavidez, if a promoter comes up with the right amount of money, like $150 million, then we can do it. But he said right now that fight is not reasonable. It's not like it's not realistic. So he's basically saying that he wants to get compensated for it because he feels like Benavidez only brings 25 pounds of overweight to the fight, and that's not fair. And he wants to, I guess, weight drain him and bring him down to a weight where he could drain him like he's did with a lot of the fighters that he's fought. But I feel like the boxing promotion of Mexican American, they promote boxing better. The best promotion that I hear in Puerto Rico is Universal Promotion. They're doing pretty good with the boxers, but on a higher scale, like the way Golden Boy Promotion does it, the Mexican Americans is nothing in comparison. But if you look at the history between Puerto Rico and boxing promotion, as far as champions, I'm just saying Puerto Rico, for an island that has right now 2.5 million, they used to have 4 million, but you know what happened after Hurricane Maria. There's a politics that's going on right there, but I don't want to get into it. They produce per capita, per 1 million people, they produce 16 champions per 1 million people. And Mexico produces 1 champion per 6.5 million people. But Mexico's a bigger country. And if you look at Puerto Rico's size, the size difference between Puerto Rico and Mexico, there's a big difference. And if Mexico was the size of Puerto Rico, they wouldn't produce as much champions as Puerto Rico is. But you see, the reason why Puerto Rico produces so much champions per capita, like 1 million, 16 champions per 1 million. Right now we have 5 champions currently, including Subriel Matias, Amanda Serrano, Oscar Collazo, Emmanuel Rodriguez, and Jonathan Bomba Gonzalez. Those are the 5 champions we have. But Subriel Matias is the one that has the most promise as far as bringing the aura of a Felix Tito Trinidad similar. Not exactly, but he brings that aura, like the way his fighting style is. A lot of people gravitate to his charisma, his personality, and the way he fights. He fights like a warrior. He throws 100 punches per round. And a lot of people discredit him, and they say stuff like, he's never fought a champion before. But if you look at it, Maximum Dedashev, he fought a champion in his record. He fought Antonio DeMarco, who was a champion in the lightweight division, a Mexican champion from 2011, 2012, and in 2014. So he was a 2-time champion. So even though Subriel Matias never fought a champion, he beat a fighter, Maxim Dedashev, that beat a former champion. So what does that say about Subriel Matias? So if you want to, we could flip this so many different ways. You want to degrade Matias, so-called boxing experts, but if Subriel Matias, he already beat a Maxim Dedashev that beat a former champion. So what does that say about Subriel Matias? He may not have beaten a former champion. He fought for the vacant IBF in the 140, but he was able to beat Maxim Dedashev, who was 13-0 with 11 KOs, and Maxim Dedashev defeated a former champion, Antonio DeMarco, a 2-time champion. So that says a lot about Subriel Matias. He beat, even though he didn't fight a champion, the fighter that he beat, Maxim Dedashev, beat a former champion, a 2-time former champion, and Antonio DeMarco. So a lot of people don't tell you that. We don't know that. You don't hear about that. A lot of the boxing content creators don't say, they don't do a lot of their research. I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them don't talk about new things. They just copy and paste what somebody else said. So my whole thing is to hold everybody accountable. I got love for everybody that's doing boxing content out there, but they don't give you the information that's hard to find. They give you information that's easy to find. You're going to find whatever they say in another boxing channel that says the same thing, that copies and pastes what they said. So I feel like if you're real and you do your research, you're going to go beyond what somebody said before. You're going to just do your facts and study and get everything, all the receipts as proof. Yeah, so I feel like Ryan Garcia, he's never been a champion. He's never won a champion, but he was famous on social media. And when Oscar De La Hoya signed him, he was 15 years old, and he became a national amateur champion. He became a national champion when he was signed to Golden Boy. But then after he turned 17, he turned pro after he turned 17. And I feel like De La Hoya, Golden Boy, knew what he was doing. He knew how to market him. He had an image. He knew how to market Ryan Garcia to the Mexican American fan base and the females and the women, because he's I guess no homo. He's an attractive young man, like the boy next door. So De La Hoya realized that he could market him. He's marketable. So I feel like that's something very genius that De La Hoya did. And I feel like Puerto Rican boxing promoters, they should do the same thing. They should do the same thing. And I feel like Miguel Cotto hasn't done his part. And I respect Miguel Cotto, what he's accomplished as a champion. But what he's done as a promoter, I don't respect it, because I feel like he could do a lot better. He could do a lot better than what he has been doing. And I feel like, he hasn't put his part as far as promoting a Puerto Rican prospect and turning him to a superstar. The only boxing promoter that did that is Durango, Fresh Production, the one that made Subriel Matias a champion recently in February. He actually guided his career to where he got him to the point where he became a champion. And he got Emmanuel Rodriguez to become a champion. And I feel like Subriel Matias, he's got to be more representative of Puerto Rico, as far as like when he walks in the ring, he should walk in with a Puerto Rican song or a reggaeton artist. But I understand his loyalty, and he did that, for Panda, his father. He wanted him to walk in with a Mexican song that he liked, and to show respect, he refused the reggaeton artists that wanted to walk in with him. Not because he's not proud to be Boricua, is that he wanted to be loyal to his, to Panda and his father, because he's been training in Mexico. But let me skip all that. The most successful boxer that Cotto has promoted in Miguel Cotto promotion was what was that guy in the featherweight division? I forgot his name. Somebody let me know who that is. He was in the featherweight division. He was knocking everybody. He was actually in Tank's division at the time, and he was good. He was a really good fighter. I just forget his name at the moment, but he was good, but he had no chin, and that was the problem. That was the problem with him. Machado, that was his name, Machado. In the featherweight division, he had some promise, but he had no chin, and we didn't realize how good he was until he actually got hit in the chin, and he couldn't recover when he fought that Mexican guy, and he was knocked out. And I feel like when it comes to like the rivalry between Mexico and Puerto Rico, one thing you don't do is get beat by a Mexican like that. You have to make sure you make a statement against Mexicans, because they're really good fighters. But I think if you keep it real, I think Puerto Rican fighters have won more against Mexicans. Mexicans have recently been, as of late, been beating the Puerto Ricans, but not I'm saying like maybe like a couple of years ago, but now we've been beating them, because we came back with Jonathan Bomba Gonzalez, and before that, what was his name? Angel Tito Acosta. He was beating the Mexican, but then one of them, they gave him the fight because the Mexican La Pulga, I forgot what his name was. He stunned Angel Tito Acosta, but he didn't beat him. Like, the referee stopped the fight, so there was a lot of politics because it was Golden Boy promotion. He's protecting the Mexican fighter, so you don't know if he paid off that referee to stop that fight prematurely, because he wanted his fighters to have an advantage, which he's like that. He got Oscar De La Hoya only promotes Mexican fighters. That's why Errol Spence Jr. left him, because he never focused on other fighters. He only focused on, like, he act like he was going to promote Errol Spence, but he don't give the same love that he gives to his Mexican fighters to Errol Spence. He promotes the Mexican fighters hard. Like, he goes hard for them. And Puerto Ricans don't do that. Like, they haven't been going hard for their people. Like, I'm not saying it's nothing wrong with going hard for your Mexican fighters. If you're Mexican American, you should be fair. That's what I say. But at the same time, put promotion to them. Put promotion to them. I got a few more minutes. Put promotion to them. Don't just promote them because, like, they're Mexican and you want to make them successful. But at the same time, promote them because they're really good, not just because they're Mexican. And at the same time, if you're gonna have a talented fighter like Errol Spence, promote him too. Like, be fair. But Puerto Ricans don't. I noticed that Puerto Ricans don't have that same passion of promoting a boxing prospect and making him a star the way Mexicans do, or Mexican Americans. And boxing is huge in Puerto Rico. But we need, instead of people like Logan Paul promoting us, or Jake Paul, we need somebody that, like, a famous person that was successful in Puerto Rico, like with Puerto Ricans, and like Miguel Cotto, Felix Trinidad, somebody like that, promoting the next Puerto Rican boxing champion and making him a star, like marketing him the way De La Hoya marketed Ryan Garcia, the way he marketed Munguia, the way he marketed Canelo. So I just feel like the fight between Munguia and Canelo is a 50-50 fight now, because Canelo's old and Munguia beat Ryder, the guy that he knocked him out, the guy that Canelo struggled with and didn't knock him out. But I think styles make fights, and I feel like that might be irrelevant. But he might have a better chance now, because it's now more of a 50-50 fight, because he has youth on his side, and Canelo doesn't have the youth that he had before, but he has the skill to still win. But he might struggle with Munguia and win by close decision, split decision. But I still say that Munguia is a live dog, but David Benavidez should have been the guy to get the fight. He deserved the fight, but Canelo wants to get paid more. And I don't blame him, but at the same time, I think he's ducking him. He's afraid. He's afraid to lose. That's what I say. But yeah, what do you think Puerto Rican boxing promotion needs? Do you agree with me that boxers that were successful should get involved and make Puerto Rican boxing more successful by marketing them better and using their fame and as marketing strategies to make boxing bigger in Puerto Rico than what it is compared to Mexico? It's still big in Puerto Rico. It's huge. So, but Mexico is more successful because they market and are more passionate about supporting their Mexican people than Puerto Ricans are passionate about marketing Puerto Rican boxing into champions, or boxers into champions. So I feel like we need to learn from them or do something where we're going to make Puerto Rico better for boxing and more successful using successful people in Puerto Rico. I think we can help the island too with the situation that's going on, with the tax exemptions. We can help the island with the successful promotion of boxers from Puerto Rico. And we got a lot of talent out there. We got a lot of talent in Puerto Rico. And I feel like, what do you guys want me to talk about in the next video? But this right here is something that I feel like nobody really talks about, why Mexican boxing promoting is more successful than Puerto Rican boxing promoting. They have a passion that surpasses our passion because we're kind of codependent sometimes. We got to think more independent and more about our overall resources and success for Puerto Rico, not the United States. But I don't want to get into that. We just have to be more independent minded to be more successful, to benefit Puerto Rico, the locals, the people as a whole, and forget about the political aspect of it as far as the politics there, which is controlled by the United States. But anyway, that's my video. What you want me to talk about in the next video? I got love for everybody supporting me. Tony also knows boxing. Press subscribe to my video, and let me know what you think. I'm gonna do more Spanish in the future. I promise. To the people that want me to speak Spanish, voy a hacer videos más en español también para la gente que no hablan inglés, para mi gente boricua y latino, todos unidos, para tener contenido que yo hablo en español también para que ustedes aprecien el contenido mío. Pero estoy hablando que la promoción de Puerto Rico y México, que los mexicanos tienen más tienen mejor promoción que los boricuas y eso tiene que cambiar porque los boxeadores como Cotto y Trinidad deben de ponerle más promoción a los boxeadores puertorriqueños y hacerlo estrella, como hacen los mexicanos. But that was my content. One love, subscribe to Tony Also Knows Boxing. One love. I keep it real. I give you the real information. I don't copy and paste.